Alright, so what I'm about to share with you in this video will help you to track e-commerce data in your Google Ads account, and also you'll be able to enable enhanced conversion in your Google Ads account. And with this, you will be able to optimize your ad for better performance. So before we get started, we're going to be using two important plugins right in this video. So I want to share with you what the plugins are. We'll be using the first plugin, which is the GTM server side, and the second one is we're going to be using header and footer plugin. And alongside, we'll be using Google Tag Manager for the implementation, and lastly, we'll be using the website we want to track the data from. So let's start by going to Google Ads account, and then the first thing is I want to go straight to the ghost right here and click on the conversions. And then from the conversion, then I'll be able to create the conversion tracking that I want to use for this setup. Now, this is website conversion right here. I want to go ahead and create another one right for the sake of this demonstration. So I click on create conversion action. Then I want to go ahead and select website. So immediately I select website, the website is there. I click on scan. So if I didn't scan, I will not be able to proceed. So I need to scan the website for Google to pull up the information. If I'm going to be using their recommendation, I'll proceed, but I'm not going to be using their recommendation. So now that the website has been scanned, the next thing is I will go to the bottom and proceed with the setting. However, in some situations, Google might recommend for you to use Google Analytics property to track your conversion. But for this, I'm going to proceed with the manual method I want to use. So these are some suggestions, but I'm not going to use these suggestions right here. So I will click on add a conversion action manually. So that is what I want to use. So the first thing is I want to select the category for this conversion. Obviously, we're going to be tracking purchase on the website. Now, if you click on this, you see what is available right here. This is going to be used for primary bidding. However, if you want to use it for secondary bidding, you can go ahead and do that. So let's leave it as this, and then we go to the next step. So I want to go ahead and enter a name for this conversion action. WooCommerce purchases in GTM. So now we're going to select the value for this particular conversion action. For some people, they might decide to put 0 as the value, but I like to use the minimum order value from my website. So for this, I'm going to use $5 as the minimum value. And that is because I know that there's nothing you can buy on the website lesser than $5. So I've entered that. I'll go to the next step. Definitely, this is e-commerce website. We're going to be tracking every purchase that happened on the website. So I will allow every purchase or every conversion to be counted. Then I will leave the other things as it is. Then I'll click on done. So right here, by default, Google will select turn on enhanced conversion, and that is perfectly fine. However, if it is not turned on for you, you can go ahead and turn it on, because at the end of this video, you will have learned how to track the e-commerce data and also how to enable the enhanced conversion in your Google Tag Manager. So right now, I click on agree and continue. Then I want to proceed with the tag installation. So we have three options right here: set up with Google Tag, email instruction to your webmaster, or use Google Tag Manager. We're going to be using Google Tag Manager for this purpose. So I click on GTM, then I have the conversion ID and conversion label right here. We are done for now, and then we proceed to the next step. So the next step is I'll go straight to the Google Tag Manager account. So I'm on Google Tag Manager account. I recently created this Google Tag Manager account for this purpose. If you don't have Google Tag Manager account, you can go ahead and create one. It's very simple. Just go to tagmanager.google.com, and then you'll be able to use your email address to create your account, and then you can follow along with the next step. So I want to go ahead and install the Google Tag Manager on the website, which is the website I want to track. So right now, if I click on this GTM ID right here, it's going to bring up the code. For some people, you might notice that they install the Google Tag Manager using the tag ID, which is this one you're seeing right here. But I've realized that when you use the GTM ID, some information might be missing. You might realize that you start seeing some error and some pages on your website might not fire properly. So we're going to install the code as instructed by Google. So I click on it right here, and we'll be using this one right here. We'll be pasting it on the head of the website, and the next one we'll be pasting it on the body of the website. If you are on WordPress, you might find it a little bit difficult to install this code on your website, especially if you are not a developer. And that is why we'll be using one of the plugins I mentioned at the beginning of this video. So I'll head back to the WordPress website right now, and I want to go ahead and look for the plugin. So if I click on plugin and click on add new right here, then I'll be able to enter header and footer plugin. If I just enter header and footer, is already here. I will see different suggestions right here. So we have WordPress code, and I've already installed this on this website. So that is what I will be using for the installation of the Google Tag Manager code. So the plugin is available right here, which is code snippet. So on the code snippet, I have many options right here. We have code snippet, add snippet, header and footer. We're going to be using this particular option, header and footer. So I'll go ahead and click on it right now. Then I'll go back to my Google Tag Manager account. So let's go ahead and copy this first code. Then we come back right here. We paste it. You can see right here, this is header. So we paste it right here. I'm using Command V on my MacBook. So if you want to paste, depending on your device, you can use Ctrl V or Command V to paste wherever you want to paste it. So I've just pasted this in the header. Then I will go to the next tag right here. I will copy this. Then I will go back right here. I will install it on the body. You can see this is the body. I will paste it right here. So the tag is already pasted on the website now. So I'll go ahead and click on save changes. But before I do that, if I go ahead and click on preview right here, you will realize that the GTM tag will not be available on the website. So I want to go ahead and copy the website address right here. Copy the website address. Then let's paste it here. Let's connect and see if it's going to open up the information we are looking for. So at the moment, I have not installed that container on the website. So let's go ahead and look at the GTM and see. So it's connected, but you can see there's no GTM tag on the website. And that is to tell you that the tag has not been installed at the moment. So now I just pasted it, and I will go ahead and click on save. So now that I click on save, I can go ahead and load it again and see what will happen right now. So let's close this. Let's go back here and reopen the website again and see what will happen now that I've just installed the tag. So we go back to the page and see what will happen. You can see the Google Tag Manager has just been installed on the website. So that has been done, and we can proceed to the next step in the process. So right here, you can see this is the GTM ID. You can see it's the same thing right here. That means that the Google Tag Manager has been installed on the website. Now that we have done that, then we can proceed to the next step. And the next step right now is, if I have not done this before, I might want to go ahead and carry out actual purchase on the website to see some of the information I will be using for the configuration. But I have done this on different websites, so I don't need to go ahead and perform that purchase right again on this website. So what I will do is I will just go to the process and I will set up the tracking, and then I will enable the enhanced tracking on Google Ads. So now let's go back and close this for now. I'm going to close this page for now. Then I'm back right here. Let's close this. So I want to go ahead and add some variables right on the Google Tag Manager account. You remember we have just installed the Google Tag Manager code on the website, but I've not submitted it. I've not published it on the website just yet. And that is why everything you are seeing right on the Google Tag Manager is currently 0. but we're going to be publishing it when we are done with everything we want to do right in this account. So let's go to the variables. So we'll be needing the variables because those are the information we'll be using to track the e-commerce data. So the first most important variables we'll be using right now is what I have here. We'll be using the purchase information, and this is what we want to use to track the e-commerce data on the website. So we have three. We'll be using the currency, the conversion value, and we'll be using the transaction ID. And with these three, we'll be able to track the e-commerce data on the website. So we want to add this variable to the Google Tag Manager account. So right on the variable page, we have the built-in variables. We're not going to be doing anything with that. We will go straight to the user defined variable, and that is where we want to be adding our own variable right into this account. So let's click on new from this side at the right side here. I click on new, then I'm going to give it a name. So we have the name here already. The first one is currency. I copy that. So I want to paste it right here, currency. Then I want to enter the variable right here. So we're going to be using data layer variable. So I will select data layer variable. Then I want to copy this. This is e-commerce dot currency. Make sure that everything is in lowercase. No uppercase is allowed in this case. So everything must be in lowercase. That is small letters. So I'm going to paste it right here. Then I'll click on save. The next one I want to do is I want to click on new again. Then we want to do for conversion value. Conversion value. Let's paste it right here. Conversion value. Then we select data layer variable. We copy this again. E-commerce dot value. Now make sure there's no space anywhere. I click on save. Then we go to the next step right here, which is the transaction ID. So I select the transaction ID. I come back to Google Tag Manager, click on new. Then let's enter the name right here, the variable name. Then click on this. Then we click on data layer variable. Then we copy this e-commerce dot transaction underscore ID. Then we copy that. We go back to the Google Tag Manager. We paste this. Then we save it again. So with these three variables, we can track the e-commerce data on the website. However, for us to be able to enable enhanced e-commerce tracking, we need to send some information to Google Tag Manager, and those information are the user's data, which is their email address, the name, the phone number, the location, and so on and so forth. And we'll be doing that as well before the end of this video. So the next thing we want to do is we want to add the remaining variables that will be needing for us to be able to enable enhanced e-commerce tracking on Google Ads. So let's go ahead and click on this again. I will add the next variable, and that is the customer data variables. This is basically not for consent, it's for the enhanced e-commerce tracking. Enhanced e-commerce. So let's start with this, and I'm gonna make this a little bit fast so you will not see what I'm doing, but it's the same thing as what I've just done for the first three variables I created in the Google Tag Manager. So I'll go ahead and create the remaining ones, and I will continue with the video. All right, so I've just added all the variables right into the Google Tag Manager. You can see right here, beyond the first three variables I added, which is the currency, the value, and the ID, I've added the user's data right here. But there's one important thing I need to let you know. This information will not be passing to Google Tag Manager by default. So in order for this information to be passed into Google Tag Manager, we need to install the second plugin right on the website, and that is the GTM server side. So I will go straight to the website right now. I will install that plugin on the website. I've saved this before, so let's just go ahead and save it again to be sure we have done the right thing. Now I want to go back to plugin, then I want to add new plugin and enter GTM server side. So let's search for this and see what we've got. So I'm going to be using this particular plugin by Step. So I'll click on install. Then I want to go ahead and activate this right on the website. I click on activate. So once the plugin has been activated, I'll go ahead and do a little configuration right on the plugin. So GTM, this is the plugin right here. So I click on settings. Then when I click on settings, I want to go ahead and paste the GTM ID right here, Web Google Tag Manager ID. So this is the ID right here. This is the ID we need to paste right there. So I copy this. Then I'll come back to the website. Then make sure there's no space anywhere here. So I paste it. If there's a space right here, there will be problem. You can see there's a space there. So I need to delete it. So right, everything is fine. I will go ahead and click on save. So now that I save it, there's one more configuration I need to do right here before we proceed. So I'll click on data layer. So from the data layer, I want to go ahead and enable add e-commerce data layer. So I add this, then I will enable add users data layer to this, then I'll click on save. With this, the informations I just added the variable right here will be passed into the Google Tag Manager account, and this will be used for the enhanced conversion tracking on Google Ads. So right, we are done with the plugin installation, and then we can go ahead and configure our tag right on GTM. So let's go back to tag right here. So the first tag we're going to be creating right now is the Google Ads tag. You remember, this is a new Google Tag Manager account. There's nothing here, so we want to click on this new button. Then we want to enter a name for the tag, Google Ads website purchase tracking. Then we go ahead and select the tag. This is Google Ads. Then we want to select the type, which is Google Ads conversion tracking. So now we need the Google Ads conversion ID and the label. But before we do that, this Google Tag Manager account is very new and there's no conversion linker at the moment. So I need to create conversion linker for effective tracking on the website. So let's create that, and then we'll be able to proceed with the Google Ads conversion tracking setup. So conversion linker, we are not going to trigger this on our page. So let's go ahead and select not on our page. Let's delete this. Then let's select again. We want to trigger it on initialization or page. So we select that. Let's give it a name, conversion linker. Then let's save this. So now that I've saved that, conversion linker is now created in the Google Tag Manager account. Now let's go ahead and copy the Google Ads conversion ID right here. This is the conversion ID. I copy this, then I come back to the Google Tag Manager, I paste the ID. Then the second one right here is the conversion label. So this is the conversion label for this particular conversion. I copy that, I come back to the Google Tag Manager, I paste it. Now for the value right here, we're going to be using the variables we created initially. So we're going to select the variable right here, and you will see we have the variables right here. So we are looking for the value, conversion value. We select that. That is the variable. The next one is the transaction ID. We are going to select it. Transaction ID right here. We select that. That is the custom variable we created. And the next one is the currency code right here. Let's look at this currency right here. That we have entered the currency, the transaction ID, and then we have entered the conversion value. So with this right now, if I go ahead and click on save and publish it, we'll be able to track the conversion tracking, but the trigger is not there yet. We need to set up the trigger, and I will also show you that before we round up everything in this video. So let's proceed right here. So next, we want to enable the enhanced conversion tracking right at the same time, and that is where we want to have the include user provided data from your website And you can see when I set up the GTM server side, which is this one right here, it pushes that information, that user's data. As long as you have the consent mode enabled on your website, it will push those information, the name, the email address, phone number, it will push it to the Google Tag Manager. And once it gets to Google Tag Manager, it's going to be used for the enhanced conversion. So now we want to enable include user provided data from your website, and that is for the enhanced conversion tracking. So in case the purpose of watching this video for you is to learn how to do the enhanced conversion tracking, this is how to do it. After we added the first 3 variables for the transaction data, then I added more variables for the user's data. So the user's data is what we want to include right here now for us to be able to enable the enhanced conversion. And you remember, the purpose of enhanced conversion is to give Google more information about the users who completed action on your website, so that Google can use the information to optimize your ads for a better performance. So right now we select this, then we want to go ahead and click on new variables. So we're going to be selecting the variables right here. First name, email, customer phone, then the first name is there, the last name, let's select the last name, then let's select the street, customer street, the city, customer city, the region, customer region, then the country, customer country, and then the postal code, customer postal code. These are the variables we added right in the previous section in this video. So now I've added all of that to the users provided information. So I will go ahead and enter a name for this right here, WooCommerce users purchase data. Make sure you give it a name that you will understand when you come back to manage your Google Tag Manager account at any time. So I'm just giving this right now, WooCommerce users purchase data. So I'll go ahead and click on save. So now I've just included the users provided information in the tag. So the next thing now is we need to trigger this particular tag to fire at a particular time. And that trigger is what I want to create right now. So I click on triggering, then I want to go ahead and create a new trigger. So right now I click on this plus button right here, then I want to enter purchase. So it's going to be triggered when a purchase is made. So I want to select custom event. So custom event, then I will just go ahead and enter purchase, everything in lowercase, purchase. So then I will click on save. So what I'm just saying now is that this tag should be fired only when purchase event is completed on the website. So now that I've done that, I will go ahead and click on save right here. Then the tag will be saved. You can see right now we have the conversion linker right here, and we have the Google Ads website purchase tracking right here. And I've also done the user's information, that is the enhanced conversion tracking, at the same time. So now that we have done all of this, I can go ahead and click on submit. So I want to publish this right on the website. After publishing this, then I can go ahead and perform a test conversion or test purchase on the website to see which of the tag will be fired on the website. But I'm not going to be doing that right in this particular video. If you just follow the instruction, you can go ahead and do that to be able to see which of the tag we fire. But there's something I want to do right now. Let's go ahead and run a preview on the Google Tag Manager. So we want to go ahead and run a preview. So I click on preview right here, and then I want to see what happens. I click on connect. So the website has just loaded. I want to go back and see which of the tag we have on the website. So let's click on continue. You can see right here we have the tag that is not fired. Google Ads website purchase tracking has not fired, but conversion linker has been fired on the website. Now you can see we have more information right here. If I click on data layer, you can see the data layer right here. If I click on right here, you see the information. So whatever I do right on the website now will be tracked. We are going to go ahead and add some product to the cart, and you will see if we have information about the product we add to the cart right here. So I'll go back to the website, and then I'll go ahead and add one product to the cart and see what will happen. I click on this, then the page will load. So the page has loaded. Then let's go ahead and add this to the cart. So what I see what will happen, let's view the cart, and then after viewing the cart, let's just proceed to checkout and see what will happen next. So we are now in the checkout. So let's go back to the GTM and see what we have right here. So we are in the GTM. So we want to look at the information. You can see we have add shipping information. You can see the data information right here. We have all of this information right here. Even the price is here. This is 18.98. That is the product I just added to the cart. You can see the add payment information. Then if we look at it, you can see consent mode is already on the website. You can see begin checkout, which means that the tracking has been properly implemented. So we'll be tracking the e-commerce data, and then we'll also be tracking the enhanced conversion data that will be used for optimization on Google Ads. So with this, you'll be able to solve the problem of e-commerce purchase tracking and then enhanced conversion on Google Ads. And I hope with this video, you'll be able to do the same thing. However, if you have any challenge implementing this on your own account, feel free to reach out to me on my website, www.ojasweb.com, and I will be glad to help you implement the same thing on your website. Thanks again for watching, and bye for now.